tough one. I feel like this is a tough one for Game. What are they going to go? Maybe could they go for some sort of ranged carry? We've seen dyrachyo on the sniper. I don't know if he's going to go for that again. No, they go for the bristleback.
Okay.
Very interesting. I like this.
Yeah, I do as well. When you've got two wolves running at your face, all you need to do is just turn around and let your bristlebacks do all the work. I actually really do like this one. But I wouldn't be too surprised if we see Timado, you know, not going to rush a Silver Edge, but it'll probably be online at a relatively good timing for him. It feels just so important when you are playing up against that carry bristle.
Alright, you know what? I think this draft is better for TSM than Game 2. You know, famous last words, right? But you're up against these three relatively tanky cores, but they also don't do a huge amount of damage. Yes, we've seen like Bristleback can, but it's not like later on you can survive for a few seconds. I think the Slark will be able to get those essence shift stacks going for him. He goes in and out of these fights. Extended fights aren't a problem for TSM like they were in the previous game. Extended fights are okay for them. I like that. You have Invoker scaling. It seems okay. You know, I've been burnt once. So we'll see about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting for sure. I can definitely see how TSM can get these victories. You know, we'll also see how quickly Kasane is going to prioritize his Ags. Whether if maybe he might just go for like a standard Helm of the Overlord and then immediately into it, or maybe he might try and focus on his own game a little bit more, get a BKB. But I feel like to take down an enemy carry Bristleback, get your Ags as fast as possible, get the Silver Edge as fast as possible as well onto the Slark, and maybe with that little recipe, they could get those quick early kills and shut down the Bristle before he becomes a big scary hero.
You know what? I'm going to go with TSM on this one. What is nothing ventured, nothing gained? What's life without risks? Not that we have any risk on us, but yeah, I feel like TSM's draft could take this if it goes late, and I think they've been, you know, putting in a little bit more gas in the early game, trying to play a bit faster. It's been working out for them. So we're going to go to a game 4. You know, we are definitely going to we are maybe going to a game 4.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair. I mean, I would be leaning towards them as well, but I'm just considering how well Gaimin Gladiators has been playing in general. So, dyrachyo, it's very accurate. I mean, the man was full on sleeping right now. No worries whatsoever in the world. Just chilling.
I love that you have so many people. You get a few of those gems coming out just because of the sheer volume. It's like one or two of them are going to be good. So that was nice. It's dyrachyo's name with him. Well played. We got some smart people here, man.
Definitely are. You know, Twitch chat is definitely filled with some smart people. They can show themselves every now and then, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to go for Gaimin, man. I don't know. Despite the fact that the TSM does have a nice plan and their draft is probably the better out of these 3 games, I'm just all the way, man. I just think this is going to be a 3-0 for Gaimin. But we'll see who curses, whether you curse or I do.
Well, we're split on this one. And I'd like to see a game 4. A lot of it's going to come down to Timado as well as Kasane, get that combination with the Lycan and Spark going. And the other side, Gaimin Gladiators, how will Ace play? If Ace has another outstanding game, I think they'll just be able to take it. If Aces have a normal game, then TSM has a chance. But I agree with you. Gaimin Gladiators is looking really strong, but come on, we got to go with TSM on this one.
Yeah. Well, you can if you want, but I'm not hopeful. I just think, yeah, Ace is going to have a fantastic game. Just always does whenever he's on his brew. But contest for the bounties. Looks like Kasane should be able to grab this bottom one. Depends if dyrachyo or him wins the clicking war. And actually, Whitemon showed himself. dyrachyo will just run away. So as a result, it's actually 3 for 1 there in total for Gaimin. Short range glimpse just for a bit of extra harassment. Okay. So again, a nice start for Gaimin right there.
And Timado is going to be fine. Disruption was taking level 1, so you don't have to worry about those shadow poisons coming out. And Ace gets it in about a second. Not going to use it. Timado's just going to be fine. I mean, I say fine. He's down to about 20% health.
Yeah, he did take a hell of a lot of harassment for that one. I mean, he could have just leveled maybe like the leap earlier on just to get away. But, you know, he's been a bit more greedy. Maybe wanted to get something else for the lane. And as a result, it does take quite a bit of harassment. So, just going to consume a few more tangos. But we'll see how this bottom lane does go down. Like, do you think Kasane is going to be able to apply a decent amount of pressure to dyrachyo, or is this going to be a free lane for the Bristle?
Nah, Bristle will be able to farm. Very unlikely that this Lycan will be able to, you know, like zone him out. But at the same time, Lycan has got a passive for extra health region, so he's going to be fine as well. It'll be a farm fest. Top lane is the one that's going to be interesting here. You know, they put the Warlock with the Slark. They think if we can get a good upheaval, if tOfu gets a bad disruption, comes back into upheaval with 3 seconds with a Slark hitting him, that's trouble.
It is definitely trouble. One thing I've only just realized is that it's actually Whitemon on the Disruptor right now, and Ari's playing the Warlock this time round. So they're actually swapping around their picks. Meanwhile, dive underneath the tower, Dacha with the Inkswell, trying to get this kill onto kasane. Glimpse back, he doesn't have the mana, but will stick.
He might die.
Can he get another one usage? He won't. Yeah, dyrachyo biting off more than he can chew. Very heavy punishment right there, diving into the tier 1 so early.
It's only level 2, you know. We're level 1 Bristleback. Will Spray is also, his damage not very impressive. And do they want to go for this? Ari's going to be in trouble here.
Yeah, he's going to try and walk himself away. Shadow Word on top of him, but I feel like the DPS is more than enough there for GG. They do manage to get the kill. Jump from Timado, not going to land on towards tOfu. Maybe he's going to be careful himself. Does he know he's just dead? Oh, with the Verifier pop. One more right click onto tOfu to get the kill. Is he a little bit faster? The slow is there. Still with the stick charges, he's going to try and turn this around. But eventually Timado does fall. Make it look very, very close, but even still, another couple of grabs there for Gaimin Gladiators off lane.
Interesting to see that Ari is going for more points than Shadow Word. You know, I was thinking they might go for, you know, the max upheaval build. Could work very well for them, but he went for Shadow Word instead. Maybe he just picked it at the moment. He's like, I'm in trouble. I just put the points here, but it was not enough to keep him alive.
Yeah, it was not at all. It's way too much damage coming through. But how is this mid lane currently looking right now? Because go by CS, yeah, it is Quinn at the top, 13-5 himself. Meanwhile, Bryle still 9-2, so a sizable advantage right now for the Void.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, well, Bryle, if he, I feel like we really need to see him online in this game. You know, he's had 2 other underwhelming games. And this game, he can get a fast earn, rotate around the map. You can see him make a lot of space. But you are against very durable and hard to kill cores, right? Brewmaster, Bristleback, and a very elusive Voice Spirit on top of that.
Yeah, definitely. Not going to be easy at all to get those core kills later on. But we'll see how the lane obviously does end up changing. Just more pressure being applied from GG on the soft lane. Not too much. But yeah, do you think if the Void gets like an early 6, maybe get a solo kill? Meanwhile, I'm talking about that. kasane dies bottom, Whitemon as well. Final Brisson. I feel like that was maximum range nearly.
Yes.
It ends up just being a double. And the real benefit from that is the fact that the Grim was nowhere nearby, so that was pretty much solo experience as well.
That nap, it recharged him. He's ready to play. You know, it's like,
Yeah, ready to come into the third game swinging. Meanwhile, more skirmishing happening at this top lane, just non-stop fights going on right now. Quite a few Shadow Poison stacks being applied here. Timado, if he gets hit from one more, it's probably going to be in dead, and it will. Ari survives by only a sliver of HP. So it's already 5 for 1. Oh, down bot lane, dyrachyo again and very low. Can they kill the Bristle? Not before he kills Whitemon though. Able to get that one. And actually Seleri going to stand his ground versus kasane. But even still with the Inkswell, he does lose that trade ever so slightly.
You're still very happy though. You're getting the kill on dyrachyo. That's still a good win for you. And top 3 in terms of CS are all on Gaimin Gladiators. It's a little bit scary here, especially considering that you had a good start for TSM for once winning the Bounty Ruin War.
Yeah, not enough whatsoever. And actually just a slight advantage for the Invoker in terms of XP. Got that level a tiny bit sooner, but it doesn't really look like Bryle's able to use that to punish Quinn whatsoever. He's going to be fine, and this is the benefit of your supports dying. There with a TP mid, fill up your bowl. Always feels good, but Whitemon making his own rotation does deny the water rune there, so not going to get that second refill for Quinn.
Look at dyrachyo. I love it. He just turns around. He's like, "Do you really want to hit me?" You know, it's like I couldn't care. Oh dear. Are you going to chase him? He might.
Oh, he's getting close to the tier 2s, but not caring whatsoever. The stick charges. Maybe dyrachyo again is in an awkward spot. One final Quill's not actually going to get him. And instead, dyrachyo is punished. Second time this game. But this man is just diving so deep. And yeah, TSM just able to come out on top once more. Oh, a lot of damage. Blood grenade, one right click. Does he tick out? I don't think so. The Helm of the Iron Will regen is going to be enough. Meanwhile, Whitemon applying a good amount of pressure there to Seleri. Does he have Glimpse available? I don't think so. Meanwhile, up top, Ari once again getting pressured. The right click's just coming through quick and fast. Finds the grab on towards that Warlock yet again.
Ace is level 5 and Timado's level 3. And Seleri is out of mana. It's Whitemon. He finds him.
He does
But you'd like
find
him to move so you can actually get the glimpse value out of it. That's not happening.
Yeah, dyrachyo also turning up. Maybe that's going to be enough to scare Whitemon away. Obviously, Glimpse will make sure he doesn't get pressured too hard. Unless, of course, dyrachyo gets close enough for one more quill, then he can run him down. Not going to be so. Gets a curry, though. That's still nice.
Worth it for his effort. And Ace, just number one on the top there. Actually, oh, kasane gets a kill on Seleri. Oh, I think he just actually did not, kill himself to the tower. No, to the wolves.
Yeah, the wolves hunted him down, got him. Meanwhile, there was also a gank attempt to come out there from tOfu, but not enough to actually get the kill. Bryle will be able to walk himself away. Meanwhile, out comes the Shapeshifter. They're going to try and run down dyrachyo right now. He's got 2 points into Bristback, so he feels pretty tanky. Lots of quills flying on out. Is this going to be enough to actually keep him alive? Inkswell also coming out. Has to be a short duration, but even still, that is enough to keep dyrachyo going. kasane is the one that actually ends up taking quite a lot of damage as well. Is he going to keep going for this one? Long range stroke gets the kill, but a fantastic rotation here from Bryle. Will kill dyrachyo. Either going to dive the tier 1 to get the kill on towards Seleri. Tornado won't land. EMP also not going to connect, and it's actually Bryle who's now out of mana. But he's feeling persistent enough just to keep going for this. Alright, predicts the little juke around. I mean, can he even get this kill without any mana?
Now, or maybe he can. I mean, it doesn't seem like it, but yeah, he's just going to go back. He had one earned charge, but without the slows coming out from a cold snap, it's not worth it. Then he goes back to farm mid, where Quinn also is having mana. By the way, mana has been this reoccurring theme in this series, right? We're seeing a lot of Pangolier with Diffusal. In this game, TSM has the mana advantage. We see Diffusal Blades come out on Slark often, EMP. Gaimin Gladiators might be suffering here. Timado, whoopsie.
You mentioned the Slark, and the curse is real. Timado going to get ran down from all of these Brewlings. Just too much damage coming through. Juking and jiving left and right. Also going to be the upheaval, but the final stun is there. Denies the retreat. Seleri also getting involved with Ari. He was just like max casting the upheaval even though nobody was in it. And it's a quick crit to the face. Ends up being a double there for Ace.
Yeah, this is the Ace we were worried about, This is the Ace that we were saying that if he gets the Brewmaster, it's going to be very tough for TSM. They thought the Brewmaster was easier to handle, or maybe they expected not to come up in the first pick, but no. If Gaimin Gladiators can take it, they will take the Brewmaster.
Yeah, 100% just showing why everyone has been banning this hero so much against this team. Just a real powerhouse. Oh, Shapeshift going after kasane, going to try and run down Seleri. Or Seleri, I should say. Keep on saying the wrong name. As he's going to carry on the dive right now. Charging on past the tier 1 tower. Seleri's trying to juke around the tree. Round and round he goes. Finally, kasane will actually decide to turn around. The disruption save there for tOfu. Trying to provide a bit of extra help for his fellow support. It's not going to be enough. And maybe now tOfu's actually the one to fall. kasane just forcing himself forwards. Gets the kill the tower. Not going to be able to finish. He will survive. Oh, dyrachyo again! This guy just diving non-stop. He does at least kill Whitemon, but he actually dies before Whitemon does, so he doesn't even get any XP for that one. What is happening?
tOfu slightly misjudged the situation because he used Disruption on Seleri, who is next to the trees. When he came back, the illusions of the walls were blocking him, because until then he was juking like a madman. So that was a tiny bit unfortunate for them.
Definitely. But I mean, despite the fact that that is dyrachyo's 4th death, I believe, he is still 1,000 gold ahead of Timado. This is 5th death. Jesus.
5th death.
Oh my god. And yeah, he's still really farms, having an absolutely insane game. But at the same time, kasane has just been kind of feeding off of him. And as a result, he's got like 5k of his own. Meanwhile, maybe they're going to try and go for a kill. This is going to be the glimpse, but the disruption save is going to be in Quinn, actually really engaged and focus on towards kasane, who doesn't actually have his ult available. dyrachyo turning up for the fight. But even still, with the upheaval replacement, it's too hard for Gaimin to just run into everyone there on TSM. Have to all back up.
TSM, I don't think we want to take fights right now, just because you don't have the Golem, you don't have the Static Storm, you have your supports at level 5, so it's a bit risky. I feel like their ultimates are a little bit more important than Gaimin Gladiators. And GG, they are #1 net worth. I imagine Ace has that Hand of Midas, and he's going to go for the Radiance app. Yep, the classic build for him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
just rinse, repeat. If it works, it works. And yes, Seleri going to get dragged back there from the Wild Wing, and eventually he will just die. Mega kill spree down for kasane. Meanwhile, in the mid, Ari does actually end up getting picked off there between Quinn and tOfu. Let's see if they can apply any pressure to the tier 1. Meanwhile, dyrachyo has actually been found, kind of getting blocked in. There's too many creeps around him. He is stuck. Trying to go up, left, down, right. It doesn't really seem to make much difference. He's just too damn tanky. Kasane not able to really apply too much pressure. The tornado coming through as well as Bryle's making the rotation. Can he actually get this one?
They really
Cold
want
snap,
this.
Plus the urns on top of him. Lots of stuns coming through. There is going to be the glimpse, dragging him back on into the EMP. It will connect, so no mana left right now for this Bristle, but he's still just so damn tanky. He just walks it off.
I mean, the guy, he's got Vanguard. That's all he needs me on top lane. I think we're going to be seeing Ari lose his life yet again. And all that attention on dyrachyo, he's loving it. Ace is free farming, and SWC making space, and they lose Kasane on the other side. We thought the Warlock was more important to showcase, though.
Yeah. Yeah, a big rotation there from Ace, finally moving out of his offlaner to help take down the most farmed core there on TSM. And that was a 5-kill streak, I believe, so a lot of gold there for that rotation.
Bryle is very underfarmed. Like, that is really unfortunate for him. This is the 3rd game in a row where he just ends the laning phase really bad. Quinn has his number, you know? Like,
yes.
Quinn just seems to know how to play against Bryle. Maybe this is because they're both from the same region. So,
yeah, I'm sure they've probably had a fair amount of scenarios where they played up against each other. But it is just, no matter what, he's having a rough time. 1,000 gold behind second to last place. Not easy whatsoever. And maybe they thought if they finally banned Quinn's Pangolier that Bryle would have a better time, but it just doesn't seem to be the case. No matter what hero Quinn gets, he's still super strong.
it just feels like a very off day for Bryle so far. And Ari, again, he's been trying to get level 6 for so long. They give him so experience, but he loses life. Oh, tOfu though.
Yeah, they're coming on in. tOfu will die. Tornado will actually just about clip on towards Quinn right now. No astral steps for another 5 seconds. Eventually, he will just get ran down. Simulate off to the side, trying to juke this one out. There is going to be the glimpse. And actually, he did have 1 step of the astral came up at the very end there, but I guess he knew he was dead no matter what and didn't want to waste it.
A worthwhile sacrifice for Ari. You do get your level 6 on the Disruptor, so suddenly Stack Storm is available here. And can you use it to kill Ace? Feels like they are setting up for this.
They're going to try to, but I mean, he's level 11. He's a pretty tanky boy. Glimpse is going to be there, but the immediate usage of the split, he's going to be fine.
Very nice. No commitment for TSM coming there. And Ace at the same time also recognizing if I get Glimpse of Stack Storm, they'll burn my mana before it's over and I'll die. So that's good moves by both.
Definitely is. He's just going to resume his farm. Still top farm core. 1,300 ahead of that of Kasane. Oh no, just 1,000. Poor maths. Poor maths.
What's Bryle building? Is he gonna go? What's he got? Oh wait, that's Ace. All right, he's got the Bryle. He has the Spirit Vessel. That will make it a little bit easier for him to deal with. Oh come on, Ari again.
Man, he's just really been suffering. I think he's like 0-7-1 or something like that. Being punished non-stop this game. Meanwhile, Whitemon will actually be able to steal the Wisdom Rune. It's going to cost him his life, but he's definitely happy with that trade.
100% worth it. 100% worth it. You get that, second Wisdom Rune for you and your allies, and they get the Wisdom Rune on their side if they decide to go for it. Very nicely done. You could also consider sending the Wolves to deny it next time.
Yeah, they could. Definitely could. But even still, it's a 5k gold lead now for Gaimin. Probably going to be even more as dyrachyo is farming up a quad stack right now on the Ancient Creeps. And he's getting pretty close to his Ags already. Only about 1,200 gold away. We'll have that one up.
I'd like to see this Ags. I want to see it once in action in like a pro game. It looked cool, but I'm like, I want to see a few more times. We're like, oh, okay, now I see how strong it really is.
Oh, Bryle has found Quinn. Gonna jump to the safety of the tower. But Whitemon is also here with Stack Storm available. Tornado is going to set up for everything. And the TP rotations maybe going to start flying in from Gaimin Gladiators if they want to try and keep their mid laner alive.
Big kill.
But it just does not seem to be the case. He is gone. Should be the tier 1 tower gone as well at the same time. So very nice move there for TSM.
Yeah, and until the Void Spirit gets like a BKB, it's going to be very hard for him to move around. Like, just in general, the Disruptor has a good time against him. They want to go top. They want to see who they can find. Ace is there. Ace without an ultimate as well.
Yeah, he doesn't have his ult, but he does actually have a Radiance now completed. So
5 seconds.
Yeah, if they don't burst him down, he's going to be able to still do a lot of damage. Make it very awkward. Glimpse. All right, no one actually nearby there for TSM. Just maybe giving Ace's heart a little jump there.
But it's smart that he didn't held this time. He just says, I don't see Sorry, I don't see the Slark hitting you. The Diffusal Blade, why am I scared?
Oh, Ato charging in on top towards Kasane. Kinetic field, trying to lock the place. Maybe he's going to have to go for the shapeshift and run away. Stunned in place, actually. I think the Ogre's done that one. But even still, Ace is actually the person to perish. Didn't have an opportunity to use his ultimate. And that's actually a really, really nice kill. And that was like 1,000 gold.
That's the biggest kill you can get. Actually, I think we might see an experience like lead coming out from TSM fairly soon. This continues Timado trying to run away, needs a leap, gets it in time.
Glimpse as well there from Whitemon, makes the space. Even still, it's just so hard for Timado to farm anywhere if the Bristleback shows up. All he can do is run away.
But as the game goes on, the balance does shift somewhat into Slark's favor. You know, I mean, when I say like goes, I mean goes on, you know, like way late. But at that point, I do favor the Slark a little bit more than I would the Bristleback.
Yeah, I feel like that as well. As Ari, once again, ends up dying down here. I think death number 8 for him. It's nearly half of their entire kills.
Alright, can we see that? Can we see how many deaths does Ari have? How much is the Warlock on? He is 0-8, you're right. Holy moly.
I mean, we've all had support players. We've had games like these where it feels like all you do is die, and it's really demoralizing. So hopefully he's he's keeping it PMA. He knows that at the end of the day, this is space created. That it's not the rest of his cores getting ran out instead.
As long as he throws out a good golem in one of the team fights, I feel like that's kind of his job. He's making space when he dies because they are investing resources to find him and kill him. But it's also a Warlock. It's like one of the easiest supports to kill.
Yeah, it really is. Also, a 3-man smoke here from Gaimin Gladiators is going to move into the dire jungle area, but doesn't look like they're actually going to bump into anybody, are they?
Ari,
looks like
time to do your job.
might be found. tOfu, his smoke breaks. He's actually underneath the dragon, so he's maybe the one getting pressured right now. Out comes the golem drop, trying to focus on towards this S2, has to disrupt himself. Meanwhile, the Broodling's in the backlines. Ari going to be getting death number 9 right now. Obviously will kill the couriers, trader supports for now. Also, good block down onto Quinn inside the static storm, fantastic. Now, there is going to be Dyrachyo turning up to this fight to maybe turn it around as Bryle is the one to die. So it's a 3-for-2 exchange there going towards Gaimin.
That fight started off kind of well for TSM. They got the golem drop on the supports. We saw that most of the Broodling's time was spent on killing Ari, but in the end, they still managed to lose that fight. Gaimin Gladiators, Ace just proving he's unkillable. I don't know. I don't see how Bryle actually just lost his life. I think he was just too close to the action.
Yeah, I think he got stuck between all the trees, and there was just too many things on the screen for him to walk past. Yeah, he got bullied down at the end of the day. But yeah. At the very least, this is Timado getting space elsewhere to resume his farm. He is still a couple of 1,000 gold behind Dyrachyo though. So he's on the road to recovery. He just needs more space, more time before he can actually deal with this bristle. I'm sure he's probably going to be queuing up a Silver Edge soon if he hasn't already.
No, he still wants to go for the Aghanim Scepter. You know, it's like the standard items. The Diffusal is so good. The Echo Saber is really nice. And I feel like after this, he might even want to get the BKB. Oh dear.
Getting controlled. He's able to use his ultimate to try and run himself away. tOfu's here as well as Seleri. They get the silence and immediately the Slarky boy is just gone. Cannot survive when there's 4 heroes on top of him like that with no help from the rest of his team. Just a free kill.
Now imagine if he had 2 jumps.
To be fair, he would have got away. Could have leapt up to the high ground for sure.
Oh, the glimpse comes out, but do they have the damage? They're gonna try.
It's straight up TP's out. He's like, okay, where are your stuns, guys? Where are your stuns? Absolutely nowhere. Ari, oh no. Does get caught yet again onto the tier 2, having a real rough time. Even a destructive grab right now on towards Bryle. Gets the tornado connection onto the 2 of them, but it makes no difference whatsoever. Still ends up falling down. Double kill there going towards Quinn. And Dyrachyo even thinking about stealing the Tormentor away.
Why not, if you can get it? I mean, it's just spawned, you can get it for one of your teams. Both of your supports have it, so it's either going to go to the Brewmaster or the Void Spirit. That is a very farmed duo on Gaimin Gladiators, really valuing their supports. Sorry, their shards in this game.
Yeah. Dyrachyo is like, do I commit for this? Don't I?
It's not worth it.
Yeah, maybe if he actually had like full mana, he probably would, but he has very little resources to work with in that situation. So will wisely decide to back off, perhaps. Meanwhile, here's Timado trying to gain recontrol of his own triangle area to resume the farm. Kasane has scouted out a few members of GG here with the Wolves.
No
Maybe he's
static
going to need
storm.
some more help from his teammates right now. Dyrachyo going to get the cut off. Quinn jumping in. They got the lockdown for sure, but the chaotic offering coming through will provide a bit of extra space. And kasane going to be able to run himself out of this one. Fine for now. The creep's actually doing a lot of work into the back lines. tOfu might be dropping down, and he will just to the creep army. As Dyrachyo now deep amongst quite a few other members of TSM. kasane not interested in trying to get involved in this fight. We'll just carry on running away. Can they kill this Bristle? He's getting very low with the meteor on top of him. That's more than enough damage. The Bristle will finally end up dropping down right now. Big victory for TSM if they come back on out without sustaining any more losses. I just don't think that's likely as they get the grab on towards Timado. Tries to go for elite, but denied immediately there from Gaimin Gladiators.
Fight started off fairly well with a kill on tOfu and do get killed. I think it's overall an even fight for TSM. Yes, you lost your carry, but you also brought down the enemy carry as well, and you are so far behind. So TSM walks away relatively happy, and they didn't have stack storm at the very start of the fight, which means you couldn't combo it.
Yeah. But at the same time, Gaimin didn't even have Ace. Like, he was nowhere to be seen. If he was involved, that probably would have been a much cleaner fight there for Gaimin for sure. As,
hey man, we got to give TSM something positive. You know, the fans are looking for anything to work with here.
Anything at all. And it is looking kind of bleak already. I mean, it doesn't feel as bad as game number 1 or 2 in a way, but they are still 8k gold behind, so the lead is 100% favouring Gaimin right now. Even a Bloodstone now completed up for dyrachyo, so trying to kill this Bristle is just going to get even harder from now on.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're gonna say like, is this a game that you can come back from? Yes. You know, this is a this is a game that you can come back from better than you could in like game 2. But but that doesn't mean you're not in a tough spot. You're in a very tough spot right now.
Yeah.
And by the way, Ace is gonna go for boosted travel just because he says, you know, that fight I wasn't around. I don't want that to happen again. I always want to be there.
That's great. If you could always get involved with his teammate in different situations, they'll be able to keep control of the lead a bit easier. Whitemon again, just the bristleback spam comes on through, a lot of damage, barely able to survive. Ace just runs straight through the upheaval, not even slowed down all too much. We'll be fine for now. Whitemon still being pursued, but we'll make it safely back into the base.
I hear a wolf.
Oh yeah, once again going over towards tOfu. He's like, guys, help me, I've got a wolf on me. Help me out. Takes a lot of damage, goes to get delayed. He actually just straight up TP's out. He will be safe right now. Quinn also getting re-involved. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Whitemon does get brought down to Ace, not even requiring to use his ultimate. Still have that available as the shapeshift ends for kasane. They're going to try and dive past the tier 3s for this one. Glimmercave probably going to make this a bit more awkward, but it doesn't look like they care. The Bloodstone gets dropped from dyrachyo, but there's no heals that come through from it. He still dies. And now Ace in a very awkward spot inside the enemy base. The Chaos offering gets committed. There is going to be the soul bind. Maybe that's good enough to hold them back as Quinn into the back line to himself. Work on kasane. The Light Gun will barely be able to survive. Meteor gets dropped onto Quinn's head. Is there any save mechanic? Destruction is there. Got an Astral Step in 5, but the slow for the upheaval, he's still getting caught from it. He will eventually fall down. And as a result, that's again not too bad of a fight there for TSM. They do lose Timado. But yeah, killing dyrachyo and Quinn is massive.
That's 2 fights in a row where you can say TSM walked away happy. You know, and like, Ari, yes, he's died a lot, but when he stays back, throws out these upheavals, and you look at game guys, like, you guys are suffering. You don't have the BKBs on your heroes. None of them, I think, has BKB. So a good upheaval can control all of them.
Yeah.
And you know, Bristleback can't jump. Ace, if he doesn't have his ultimate, also can't just walk out of it. So, and the Spirit Vessel is great. You know, yes, he turns out the Bloodstone, but as you mentioned, he doesn't heal.
Yeah, did absolutely nothing. Just ended up dying pretty damn quickly without achieving all too much. I mean, as you mentioned, he has now queued up the BKB, so once he eventually completes that, probably be a bit easier for him to get stuck in those fights.
I think you need to think about what's Slark building, because Slark might need the BKB. You kind of look at it and say, okay, maybe the Like and Wolf Bite's going to be enough to give him the damage, and he needs to focus on just surviving, because I'm looking at Timado, he jumps in, and he just gets melted every fight so far.
Yeah, it does feel that way for sure. It's quite a decent amount of AoE damage that comes out from Gaimin to control him. Not easy by any means, as they are now actually going to go for the first Roche of the game. There are a couple of people from TSM in the general vicinity, but it doesn't look like either if they're aware this is going on or what. But the Sunstrike will definitely scout it out, but yeah, it's 100% too late. Aegis giving over towards Quinn as well. He's happy about that one. And Timado, yeah, it didn't look like it was a Silver Edge queued, nor a BKB.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
He disassembled.
Yeah.
Okay. Disassembling the Echo Saber and going for the BKB. Oh, he disassembled it actually to finish the Aghanim Scepter, so he's gonna have to build the BKB from the beginning. That's gonna take a while.
I think he already had the axe. I think it's a Mage Slayer coming out.
Oh, Mage Slayer, huh? That I mean, it is all spell damage. Mage Slayer, it works on spells. It doesn't have to be magic damage. Anything that comes from a spell can be reduced, which means Mage Slayer is pretty solid against dyrachyo.
Yeah, it's going to be nice and cool as kasane with a haste rune, just poking and prodding, but can't really pressure the Bristleback all too much on its own. Definitely needs help from the rest of his team. And yeah, kasane now also with his own axe completed, so definitely the capabilities to turn Timado into a real scary hero.
I still feel like you can't really take a fight with the Slark without the BKB. You know, you jump in, you still have to worry about Soulbind and Demonic Purge. Oh dear.
Oh, Ace is in. Gonna chuck the tornado up on towards kasane right now, keeping him out of the equation as the rest of the Brewlings will just run down Ari, drops an upheaval. But just really trying to go out with a little bit of particle effects going on, so he will still fall. Meanwhile up top, dyrachyo, maybe he's the one in danger. 3 heroes on top of him, about to be 4 as Timado is getting involved. Quill's coming through, there is going to be the destruction save, keep him alive for a bit longer, but all that's going to do is delay the inevitable. I feel eventually he will just get ran down. Wolfbite as well, on towards the Slark, getting on top of walls, tOfu.
Well done.
Ends up being another couple of kills there for TSM, huge punish.
And in the end, what they lose Ari, who's 0 and 12 and doesn't care about dying. We've been saying Ari, he's been pushing these lanes, forcing them to invest to kill him, and yeah, this is exactly what it is. Yeah, he is actually 0-12, going for the Melk Award.
Yeah, it's not a great award to get, but at least he's saying got something. Meanwhile, Bryle, all he gets is getting caught out of position and dying right there. So dive into the tier 2. Gaimin thinking about diving into tier 3 right now as Harry was Glimmer caped up. Meanwhile, Timado actually finds the opportunity to go on towards Seleri right now. Golem drop as well, collects onto him as well as Quinn. Can the Grim get out? Looks like he will be able to. Timado though wants to try and chase after him, but Quinn putting his body actually in front to try and provide the space. The first life of him is gone, does have the Aegis obviously. But with the involvement of Ace, maybe that's going to be enough to force Timado back, and Harry going to get caught out with the Glimmer. Staying alive for now, but there is going to be the Sentry Ward dropped. Eventually, Seleri still gets ran down from Seleri. Ari will fall, but even still, Quinn getting stuck inside this kinetic field, cannot escape. Ace as well, no real resources to work with, and with the glimpse, just pops the BKB and runs it off.
First BKB though used just to escape like that. And we said it, TSM, they have the draft to come back. Because Gaimin Gladiators, their draft is now on the down curve, you know? It's going to be starting to scale a little bit less. At TSM, their draft is getting better and better. You know, you go late game with Invoker, late game Slark. Even the Lycan is pretty solid, though not quite the same league.
Yeah, great. Dive onto tOfu, there is a Sentry. Shadow Amulet's not going to do a single thing here. Eventually will just die. Ghost Scepter as well. Going to drop all of his spells onto Timado before he eventually dies. Another Shadow Amulet, but more than enough protection. They will find the kill. Gone for 40, no buyback, but actually a jump in from Ace. They want to try and take this fight as well. They found dyrachyo inside the Static Storm, blocking him down. So a lot of damage as well as the meteor on top. Can the Bristol survive? There is going to be the 4-star. Brings him to safety, but even still, Seleri does end up dropping. Ace pursuing after Bryle right now. Forces the BKB out there of the Invoker. Just going to keep pursuing forwards with the Ghost Walk. No protection on his own. Meanwhile, dyrachyo now just gets caught out as the immediate jump in from Timado finds the kill. Ace still going to try and pursue for more. Now focus on towards Ari, but his Bruce split is about to end, but Quinn jumping on in. Maybe they can find the kill. He actually dissimulates the opposite direction, not wanting to get stuck between kasane as well as Timado to be too much damage. There is going to be the upheaval once more, slowing down Ace. He can't get away. Quinn will finally get rid of the Warlock to remove it, but it's too little too late as Ace is taking a lot of damage. He's trying to run. Definitely Blast will connect. They find the kill. Down goes the Brew. So it ends up being TSM coming out on top once more. Really are doing a fantastic job. And now actually the Wolfbite is back off cooldown again. Timado just going to start chasing after whoever he can find. Leaps up in towards the base, finds Quinn with a couple of right clicks, but no lockdown.
How many stacks does he have on Timado? Like, he seems to be 32. Okay, I thought it was close to 50, but this is a bit of a disaster for Gaimin Gladiators. You have to start getting worried here. The Slark, you're having trouble controlling him. The Lycan as well is second most farmed hero in the game. Brewmaster, Bristleback, they're starting to fall off here. Void Spirit, he's going for the Nullifier. That'll be nice, but I don't think you don't care about that if you're Slark or Lycan.
No, I mean, before that fight, you can see dyrachyo was trying to farm his BKB. He's so close to it, and that will be really impactful if he can't get it. But so many points keep happening. As another one, he gets glimpsed into the stack storm. Yet again, the disruption is going to be there from tOfu to at least negate a majority of the duration. Good jump up to high ground as well from Seleri, but even still, dyrachyo is on his own. He needs some help from the rest of the team. It's just not coming. He's going to get just ran down for Timado. Another kill on towards the carry of Gaimin. And TSM, man, they are really bringing it to him in this game number 3.
I mean, this is the draft. It goes late. The enemy team's draft doesn't, and they just had to hold on, and they did. It goes back to 80%, so it goes up to 80% for TSM here. And yeah, they could take buildings. They also, I love the golem. Grand golem, 20% extra health, so you're super durable.
It's real tanky. Meanwhile, Ace jumping on in. Does manage to get the armor off. But Quinn, look at that. Immediately gets control. Takes so much damage, and he's dead before he can do real much jumping at all. Does have a buyback. We'll see if he's going to be forced to use it. But still with that 30 seconds, no dyrachyo, it's difficult to do it. Ace's Brulings feel like they're doing absolutely nothing as Timado just gets the run down on towards Seleri, takes him out. The Earth Panda as well. The right click's hurt, but he's able to get the Blink Dagger back inside the fountain. Will be safe for now, but this is just space for TSM to carry on destroying buildings. The top set is gone. Gonna start working on towards this middle.
And the Quinn can buy back, but he doesn't really want to. Dyrachyo is gonna be up in a few seconds, but you're not gonna have your Grimstroke in that fight. They're just gonna, look at they melt buildings. God. They melt buildings, and Quinn actually buys back with only a few seconds left, but he feels like he has to.
He has to, man. They're just going to be facing Megas if they don't right now. Jumps on him, but he's hit by the static storm. Disruption is going to be there at least for tOfu to keep him alive. But tOfu himself gets ran down for kasane. Quinn, he just can't survive through it. He's just gone immediately. Now dyrachyo feels like all the hopes of GG here in this game number 3 are on them. He's just charging forwards with the BKB finally complete right now, sticking on top of Bryle. Whitemon now in a spot of danger. Eventually the Disruptor will get caught. Couple more quills are all they need. They will find it. But even still, TSM, they don't really get punished all too hard. Actually, dyrachyo still charging after him right now. Doesn't have BKB available, so he has to be careful he doesn't get caught out yet again. kasane trying to TP. No cancel, so he will be successful. There's a wolf bit in Timado, though. He's going to stand his ground, right-clicking them both. He's instead of 1 versus 2. Bryle also getting involved to put the balance of power into their favor. Ace will force his BKB right now. They're focusing towards the Invoker. But just look how much damage is coming out. This Slark is just destroying people on his own. An absolute monster here. It looks like Ace will barely be able to survive. Timado, though, yeah, 45 stacks of Essence Shift was there. So much damage is pumping out from this guy.
I mean, the Lycan, we've seen this combination. Kasane is Lycan, you cannot you should never underestimate it. And he's working with Timado. They've done this combo multiple times. We've seen it on the Faces Boy, we've seen it on Monkey King, we're seeing it on the Slark in this game. And I feel like Gaimin Gladiators, they delayed that BKB a bit too much. You know, we were seeing like Quinn, he absolutely suffers when he gets into a static storm. He needs the BKB. You know, dyrachyo as well. We saw a couple of glimpses put him back in. Now, top 4 net worth, 3 of them are on TSM.
Yeah. The only one up there for Gaimin is actually Ace right now. The other 2 cores inside of Gaimin are suffering a hell of a lot.
And the shard goes to kasane rather than poor Whitemon. Okay. It's a solid shard, you get a free wolf. Although it's not really useful in this stage of the game. It's one of those shards you either get very early or you don't get at all.
Yeah.
But it helps. It helps.
It does indeed. I mean, at the start, we just saw Ari continuously dying again and again and again. But now look at him. He is the most farmed core by a fair old margin. He's having a great time.
It's how he was doing. Like, he just... When he pushes out of the lane, right? So when he dies, it's not bad because the lane is pushed out. He dies most of his death time in the early game. You know, where you're only dead for like 10-15 seconds, you don't come back and you're fine with it. So this is going to be a big defense from Gaimin Gladiators.
Well, it needs to be if they want to keep themselves in this one. Timado just jumps forward, gets an easy latch onto Quinn, and just like that,
no BKB.
He is gone. Ace jumping in right now, has to use the split to try and get some work done as well. But look at that, the buildings just get focused up on Timado. Mega creeps have already been secured. This is already a very awkward situation for Gaimin Gladiators right now. dyrachyo trying to do what he can. But kasane and Timado, that's too damn quick. They're running circles around him, trying to disrupt and hold him back. dyrachyo is pretty speedy himself. He's going to stick on top of his target, but he's going to be careful he doesn't step up too far, as we see in the back of the base. Timado is getting 3 kills. Buyback as well coming out from Seleri. Is it going to be enough to make much of a difference as Bryle able to get that force off just in time, survives with a sliver of HP, and now Timado getting re-engaged against dyrachyo. Going to start building up all of those Essence stacks. Can he get the kill? He's trying to run down to the south side. At least he might be able to get the kill on towards Bryle here. but it's still stuck amongst 4 enemy heroes. Needs some help with the rest of the squad. Destruction's going to be there for tOfu. But even still, the upheaval already used some Ari. Basically saying you have to stand your ground, but actually what dyrachyo does just kill him instead. Doesn't really make much difference. Even still, Timado jumps in deep, focusing on towards tOfu. He is saved up for the Glimmer for now. Trying to do what he can, will jump back off the safety, but Ace, he's trying to pursue after the Slark, but actually they're not going to fully go after him. Will fall back to the base. There are creeps hitting tier 4s.
Gaimin Gladiators, you'd like to get a buyback. You'd like to get something more out of TSM here, because if they just go back and they come back with the full team ready, you're like, well, we didn't get what we need. Check out dyrachyo's damage, and Quinn, yes, 11 damage.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how he only did 11 damage, but that happens. Must have been for the dust, right? Like maybe God revealed someone and he does it by a bit. That's it.
That's true. Maybe that was it. Feels real bad, man, if that's what he's able to do. But he has just been punished really, really hard. Just can't really achieve all too much. And I'm sure Whitemon's probably not even far off having his own ag. So those BKBs aren't even going to be able to save many of the people of Gaimin Gladiators in these situations. That's TSM running out once more. Stag Storm not going to connect onto Quinn. He will be fine. First time in a long time he hasn't been immediately punished. Meanwhile, into the back lines, they do find Whitemon. Ace as well as dyrachyo getting that pick off. It looks like TSM just going to try and disengage as much as possible. Bryle TPing in on towards the creep there of Kasane. GG, they're actually trying to chase after anyone they can find, but TSM being very elusive right now. We've got Timado in the back lines. Does find the grab on towards Seleri. Immediately he is just gone. Can he achieve all too much else while he is completely separated right now? Focusing on towards dyrachyo. Just wants to steal away as many of those stacks as he possibly can right now. Inside the upheaval as well. dyrachyo's going to be super slow. Still TSM. Not going to fully double down for that one. Instead, Timado wants to go for those squishier heroes. Does manage to find the jump on towards tOfu. The rest of Gaimin Gladiators trying to provide a bit of assistance there to their support. Timado is just trying to walk around them to get on top of that support. There is going to be a kill to go for it, holding them back. Bryle taking a lot of damage as well from dyrachyo as Quinn gets the grab, denies the escape. Kasane though, objective Dota hitting tier 4s, trying to TP. The Remnant will actually grab onto him, denying the escape, dragging him back on in. Eventually he will get caught, he's a tanky boy. But it is going to be another grab there towards Gaimin. So they're holding on to this one as long as they possibly can.
They need to go for Roshan on TSM. They need to go for Roshan. That's 2 fights in a row that they haven't been able to end the game, and they're sort of like getting excited about it. They're like, oh, we're going to finish this, and they go for these quick fights, trying to think that they can beat it, but no, you want to play objective. You have no buybacks on, I think, any of their heroes. None of them have buybacks on TSM. So you get wiped, Gaimin Gladiators goes to your side of the map, and that's it. And you can see only Ace has buybacks. So TSM, they have mega creeps. They haven't won the game. And Roshan, they need Roshan. They need to go for Roshan right now. And Ace, highest damage in the game on this Brewmaster. Win or lose, MVP performance.
Yeah, again, it does just show why no one wants to give him this hero. But hey, I guess for the side of TSM, denying Quinn his Pangolier and giving away that Brewmaster has actually been slightly beneficial as they are taking the win. Whether if that actual decision to ban the other hero has made this change, who knows? But it's working for now.
It is. I mean, it's got the mega creeps. We'll see how if TSM can actually win it, because you only have a big advantage. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Well, Roshan's going to go to the Radiant side in a bit. Gaimin Gladiators might consider trying to go for it. TSM already setting up. They're saying, all right, let everyone come bottom, wait for Rosh, and kill it here.
Yeah, but look at that. dyrachyo's actually already put himself down here. They're actually going to trade positions, him as well as Ari, who's twin getting down to the bottom side. Dodgers is definitely very close.
But they know. I mean, the Roshan is the goal right now. And Whitemon, he wants to go for the Agam Center, but he's still going to be pretty far from it, unfortunately.
Yeah, he needs a fair amount more space before he can get that one. We can see Ari's deaths as well. Still 0-16 and 20. My lord. That is a lot of death. But who cares, man? They're winning. He's doing his job. Doesn't matter if this guy dies. The team is still successful no matter what.
I mean, they're winning and he's the highest net worth support. So,
yeah,
he's doing something right. There you go. He's got Agam Scepter. In the previous fight, they dropped the Agam Scepter just as the tornado hit with Bryle, so it wasn't the best, but still, it's fine.
It definitely is. So that is now Aegis into the hands of Timado. Cheese giving over towards Bryle. And we'll see if this Another high ground push attempt comes out from TSM, and how quickly they can actually maybe take the fight, take the tier 4s, and go for the Ancient. Who knows?
They have a couple buybacks on their sides for TSM as well, so they can afford to throw their buys a little bit. But so does Gaimin Gladiators. Aces had this buyback the entire game basically. Do they have nullifiers on TSM? I think they have one nullifier. I'm not quite sure on her. Oh, there we go. Double wolf form. Oh,
there you go. For now. That's what charging forwards right now. The Silver Edge, not going to be able to get the immediate lockdown on towards Dyrachyo. Just seeing if you can find anybody lurking onto the outskirts of the Radiant base right now. As actually Ace gets hit from the EMP. A lot of his mana is gone, but he's still able to get the bruise split off. Going to try and focus on towards kasane as his creeps going immediately for those tier 4s. They're basically on 2 HP each. Seeing still, Timado will end. Stun immediately on towards the Lycan. There is going to be the golem drop there from Ari, trying to make space for the off lane to disengage. Gaimin Gladiators are trying to pursue for something, they can't actually find the grab. Instead, they will fall back, return to the base. I mean, Wolf Bite is over, so is the transform for the Lycan. So it's not too bad, they do hold.
Yeah, this is perfectly good. I mean, they used what? Bruise split? That's not... That I don't feel like that's as big of a deal as the Lycan wolf forms. And Bruce Split is going to be up in about 70 seconds. However, so will the shapeshift. It's only golem that you won't have on TSM for about 2 minutes here. So Gaimin Gladiators.
Here he gets the grab onto Ace, but not quite getting the full connection. Judge as well to stand his ground against Timado, doing a lot of work, but he's giving away quite a few Eshin Shift stacks at the same time. Carefully doesn't just give away too many of those completely for free. Even still, Bryle's getting very low. A lot of damage was coming out to him, but he's still able to retreat there with the BKB activated. Just lots of pokes and prods, you know, TSM testing the defense here of GG. But they've taken down one of the tier 4s, only one does remain. The right entry.
This is what TSM wants. They want these long extended fights just because that's what the Slark is best at. And of course, all the creeps are pushing in. So Gaimin Gladiators, this is not a stalemate that favors them long term. You know, eventually there's going to be chip damage on those towers and on the Ancients.
Once again, Timado in. Focus it on towards Dyrachyo. 20 target. A lot of damage coming through. First life is gone. Very quick takedown there coming out from Gaimin Gladiators. kasane as well is running around, focusing on towards Ace. They're just going to lock down Glimpse. There's going to be disruption to deny that one. Quinn trying to get the grab as well onto Whitemon, but the Remnant does not land. Instead, persistence charges through, still able to find the kill. Ace also jumps in quite aggressively, still has Zolma available. The EP coming out, he might have to use it, he's going to run out of mana, but the BKB will keep himself alive. Dacha with the BKB and the Bloodstone of his own, trying to retreat. Lots of chaos happening. Still, no one ends up dropping down. Ace now moving outside of the base to get this freebie on towards Ari if possible, but with the help of Timado and Bryle, they provide the assistance to keep their support alive. And now it's Ace who has to back off.
You know what's interesting when one team gets mega creeped is that they are forced to do the right thing. They are forced to stick together. And Gaimin Gladiators, when they're sticking together, TSM's having a hard time winning these fights. You might be better off on TSM if you just wait for the next Roche and try to open up the map by having Gaimin Gladiators split apart. But no, they want to go for more.
Yeah, they ain't waiting at all. Immediately on Dyrachyo, but they know he doesn't have BKB, but the Bloodstone activated, he's still going to be fine. It's actually Timado who ends up taking the majority of the damage there. But he does have to back off. They're just probing, you know, just keeping Gaimin Gladiators on their toes. Don't want to let them feel too comfortable sat inside their own base.
Oh, thank you. I was like, I want to ask, what are the items we're working with here? Thank you so much. Whitemon's getting closer and closer to the Aghanim Scepter, kasane. Looks like we have 2 Bloodthorns coming out, Nullifier on kasane. Both of them have the Aghanim Scepter. I feel like there's nothing too crazy. Bryle's got the Octarine Core. He's kept the Hand of Midas. I imagine his farm's going up there quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get as much value out of him as he can. There is actually still a gem that Timado is holding on to. So I'm sure he'll have to give that to somebody else soon, as he's probably going to be looking to get 6 slotted. Like, won't have the space for it. Got 2,500 gold sat in his back pocket to boot.
Yeah, by the way, can we look at the Bounty Ruins and the Wisdom Ruins in this game? I just see Bryle just pick up 3. Yeah, if you're TSM, you've been banging your head against the wall for a while. It might be time to start thinking about, like, just waiting. Let's wait for Gaimin Gladiators to make a move here. Save for buybacks on your side. Because when they're sticking as 5, you're not taking these fights.
Yeah, it's just so difficult. Maybe they just need to try and, I don't know, take a 4 versus 5, then maybe kasane can like run around the back with his creep army and just go straight onto the Ancient. Try and win that way, perhaps. looking difficult though.
You know, the strategy is you wait for 60 minutes, you get 3 Book of the Dead, and you send them to the throne all the time.
Yeah, that could be the way they win. We'll have to wait and see if that is how this game turns out, but we're still 15 minutes away at the very least from those tier 5 items. I think, at least from the games I've cast, I've only seen one game that's actually gone that long so far. Might have been others that like Rob covered.
Oh yeah. I mean this tournament, right?
Yes.
I think it'll be my first. I don't think I've done any hour-long games.
Could be going on this time as it looks like TSM finally relenting on some of the pressure. They're actually backing off right now. And maybe they are just going to wait for that Roshan number 3, which is potentially up in 2 minutes time. We'll see if they are just going to wait, but obviously this is a little bit of breathing room for Gaimin Gladiators to get their own buybacks back up and look for those next items.
Ironically, you don't really, if you're TSM, you don't really have a good Aghanim Scepter person to take it. Whitemon will already buy his, and it's like Invoker is fine, but he doesn't have people to hold. Like, no one's holding them down for the Cataclysm. It's always a good ability, it just doesn't really combo that well.
Yep.
So you might actually want the Aghanim, the Refresher Shard instead, 4 Golems or double Sag Storm.
Yeah, I think that could be really nice, having the double Golem drop plus double Fatal Bonds. Would definitely be a fantastic method of getting an advantage in those coming fights. But we shall see.
As TSM isn't pushing anymore, what they're doing, they're farming, and the net worth is starting to grow. It was 7,000 a couple of minutes ago, now it's 13,000. And yeah, I like what they're doing. You know, it's very disciplined. They realize, hey, we're not cracking this nut without some extra firepower. So let's wait for Roshan to get with the goodies.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying earlier on as well, just how powerful TSM draft is the later it gets into the game. So, I mean, do you think there is a chance that if it goes super, super late, the Gaimin Gladiators power spike actually comes back through and they are once again like the stronger team and they could just run TSM over?
No, not really. I mean, maybe TSM could lose a fight in the enemy base and they get team up, but I don't see it happening. It shouldn't happen based on on what we know, basically. But then again, the Gaimin Gladiators have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat before. They're a very strong team. TSM could mess this up or just get outplayed.
Yeah, that is definitely possible. But with the Ags now completed there onto the Disruptor, that is going to be probably getting like a quick kill onto Quinn, I'd say. He'd definitely be one. Potentially Ace as well if they can burst him down, but obviously the Brewmaster is very, very tanky. Not the easiest target to get.
tOfu has done an amazing job keeping his team alive, man. How many times do you, as someone like caught a Static Storm, I've seen Ace and Quinn get caught, they go down to half health, he disrupts them, they come back and they can just jump away or use their ultimate. He has really delayed the game thanks to his saves.
He has been really doing everything he can to keep themselves and his whole team in this one. As also Roshan number 3, a very long respawn time. Yeah, still another 2.5 minutes to go before that is going to be up. You know, another round of items coming through. Scythe is going to be there for Quinn. I think Kasane just got his own BKB. So maybe he's thinking next team fight, he just wants to run straight onto the Ancient and hit that. Doesn't really want to deal with heroes.
Risky plan. I mean, how many Wisdom Runes do they have on TSM? I don't think I've seen them go on their side of the map. Can we just see their bounty ruins for a sec? Or no? Okay, no need. Don't need. This is more important.
I agree. There's a fight coming. 5-man smoke plus the transform will fight used. They found the grab on towards Ace. The steer was pretty tanky, not being pressured so far. There's going to be disruption to keep himself going for a bit longer. Meanwhile, Quinn, he just gets wrecked there from Kasane. Absolutely tears him a new one. Seleri also going to be able to barely get himself out. Ace, first life gone. Multiple buybacks having to be expended right now. Quinn obviously fought out for his life. He doesn't have a buyback, and now Dacha getting focused onto. Look how quickly the bristleback falls. Absolutely feels like paper at this stage when the Silver Edge comes out on top of him. Jumping from Timado once more, trying to focus down to the bristle, but he heals back up pretty damn quickly there from the Bloodstone. Disrupted, trying to keep him going for now. Timado once again focusing down, and just like that, Dacha is gone. Ace with his own buyback, getting into the back lines right now, but he's separated from the rest of the team. He needs the save to come through, it's just not there. He's gone for 2 minutes. Kasane even dropping a tip onto him for the real PM, and now that just looks like it. The Ancient is going to get brought down.